Are you someone who wants to learn how to play the black market and print millions of silver with it? Well, if that's the case, you're watching the right video. Now today we'll dive over what exactly is the black market, how does it work, and more importantly, the best ways of how you can profit from it. So, first things first, what exactly is the black market? Well, as the name suggests, it's a market that's located in the city of Albion. Now this is the central city of the royal continent, and it's completely surrounded by all sides with red zones. Now these zones are very dangerous, as there's always gankers and squads prepared to kill transporters and people who want to safely transport to Albion. Now since there are not that many reasons to go to Albion, very often these gankers know exactly who to gank and who is transporting. Now the black market itself is located at the west side of the Albion city, and you can spot it by seeing this icon right here on the map. Now how exactly does the black market work? Well, it's different from the normal markets that you find in Albion. Why? Because you're not selling to the player, you're actually selling to the system. Now every single item that is unboxed in this game comes from the black market. So if you ever got an ore frost in your chest, it was crafted by someone. So why exactly is this such a great feature? Well, because it means that the black market doesn't see any difference in items. It only sees one thing, which is stock. Now, the black market knows exactly how much he needs of every single item. So let's imagine the black market needs 5 8.3 helmet to be ready. If he drops one, he'll have to buy another one. And when this happens, he places a buy order that's very little in amounts of silver. And little by little, it keeps increasing it until someone either sells directly to him on a buy order, or the buy order meets the sell order. So this is one of the many reasons why black market is so good, because it buys those items that no one wants and no one wants to make, which creates an awesome opportunity for us crafters, which is crafting items that are not meta and often are considered unnecessary for the regular player. And since these items are not wanted, it means that most people won't be making them, and therefore they generally have a higher profit margin to be crafted. So the first major big misconception that I see most of players do is the mistake of having to think that they can only craft items in the bonus cities, and only then they can transport them to Albion. Now, even though I see and understand why you would want to do this is simply gonna be the downfall of most crafters and players. Now, it's not the first time, nor it will be the last. I'll see someone comment in one of my videos saying they crafted all their money's worth, and then when they were transporting to Albion, they died on the process. Now, you have to take into consideration that Albion is surrounded by red zones, and these red zones are filled with scouts. Now, if you don't know what scouts are, they are pretty much an alt account of players, and they have these accounts logged on their phones or other laptops, and they use it to see who's passing through. Now, if they see someone wearing a good set or a transport gear, they'll go out and chase you and potentially kill you. So what is important for us to know is that there is no need for you to take this risk. Now, as a new player, one bad death is enough for you to never play this game again, and we don't want you to do that. So what exactly do I do? Well, I recommend you that you stay in the cities and go to Albion, and you can literally teleport there for free. Just go naked to any travel planner and teleport to it. Now, surely in Albion you don't have the 25% return rate that you normally have in the city with bonus, but you still have your 15%, which is the standard one for every single royal city. Now, there are also great advantages of you crafting in Albion. The first one, it's already been mentioned, it's safety. Now, you are guaranteed to not ever die because you will be in a safe zone, and that's already super important. Then it's the fact that even though the return rate is not the highest, the crafting fees that you pay per station are always going to be good. Since Albion has more shops than the regular cities, they tend to be lower rates as the prices are more competitive. So instead of paying the usual 950 to 1000 silver per nutrition, you'll be paying around 400. And then, which is probably my favorite reason, is the commodity. It's literally you buy it, you make it, and you sell it. There's no stresses, there's no problems, and it's literally one and done. So, how exactly do we know what to craft? Well, as anything in life, if you want something, you have to work for it. Now, this is going to involve a little bit of a hard labor to start off, but what I normally recommend for a player to do is buy off every single item in the market that you wish to craft in tier 4. And now you can do this in the marketplace that's literally right by the black market. Now, why exactly do we need this? Well, the black market has one very specific characteristic, which they don't tell you about, which is you can never know exactly how much the sell order of other players are. It only tells you how much the black market is willing to pay. Now, think of it as this example. The black market might only pay 100,000 silver for an 8.4 item. That doesn't mean that's how much the item is actually worth it. So a lot of the times you need to adjust not how much he's paying right now, but how much the other players are selling. And so you're not competing with the system, you're competing with the other players. So having a copy of every single tier 4 item is the best thing and it will allow you to have complete exposure as the black market as a whole. So what I normally do is I just take a piece of paper or a notebook and I write down how much every single item costs. So for example, a broadsword is 9,000, a broadsword 4.1 is 10,500, a 4.2 is 43,000, etc, etc, etc. And then what I do is I want to go see exactly what materials each item takes. So in this case, a broadsword takes 16 bars and 8 leathers. So you simply go to the marketplace, search for those materials, and then you have to add them up and deduct the 15% return rate. If this cost is lower than the black market price, then it's a great item to craft. Now, you're probably wondering how exactly this looks in practice, so let me show you an example of an item I've done today. So here we have quarterstaffs, in specific ironclads. Now, I couldn't think of the last time I've ever seen someone use an ironclad, but it's an item, so the black market buys it. In this case, it's paying around 22,000 silver for it in the past few days, so it seems very steady, enough for it not to be a fluke in the market. So let's go down to the regular market, see what our resources are, and in this case, it takes 20 leather and 12 bars. Now, since we're gonna craft them in tier 4.0, each material costs around 450 silver. This means that in total, it's gonna use 14,400 silver. Now, after the return rate, which is 15%, we're gonna be paying around 12,240 silver per unit crafted. So it's a pretty good item to craft, time to buy the materials. Now, I decided to buy and craft around 150 units, so that's exactly how much we bought. Now, it's very important for you to know to never forget to buy salads and books, especially if the books are cheap, as these can fill up and it's an extra income that you have. Now, then we're off to find the cheapest station that we can craft in. Generally speaking, the stations in Carlin are always cheap, so there's a lot of competition to go off, and we just have to find the cheapest one. In this case, this is the furthest shop, so there we went. Now we eat our salad, make our items, and once crafted, we simply have to go back to the black market and release these items. Now, it's very important to understand that even though the estimated market value didn't change, we still made a lot of money, because your inventory is assuming that each ironclad sells for around 7,000 silver. Now, we're not selling them for 7,000, we're selling them for 22,000, so it means it's around 2.5 times the estimate value. And this is one of the many reasons why you should never trust the estimated market value. Now we simply place our items in the black market and wait for them to sell. They should be selling within 1 to 2 days. Now, it's very important that you have patience and understand that not everything needs to be sold in 10 minutes. Your money invested is always better than your money standing in your account. So, you should always invest as much as you can without always taking into consideration that you don't want to lose it. Now, finding items might be very confusing and it's very hard to do the math sometimes. And there's always a couple of tools online and spreadsheets that are available that can help you with this. Now, if you're tired of losing time and money when you're crafting, you can always check out Alan and Marlon's spreadsheet. Now, I've been using this spreadsheet for a couple weeks and they are also sponsoring this video. This is a great spreadsheet where you can track real-time profit margins, focus costs, resource prices, and optimize every single crafting step that you have in seconds. Now, whether you're brand new to crafting or you're someone that just wants to mass craft and make sure that you're always making profit, this sheet provides you the math so you don't have to do it. So remember, don't just craft, craft smart, and start printing silver tomorrow. The link is in the description if you're interested. Anyways guys, that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys have any questions, make sure to ask them down below in the comment section. If not, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and as usual, Nendys out.